So I welcome dear students for the understanding of the flanges in the subject of chemical equipment design. Today we are going to understand the flanges. Now first have a look for these flanges. So this is the common type of the flange which you can see. You must have seen such flanges in your household or other purposes also. In addition to that, there are other figures. So this is another pipeline which is you can see in the your day-to-day life for municipal corporation water supplies. So this is a big flange with a big pipe diameter. Now in addition to that, you can see the different parts of the flanges. The basic flange, the two flanges, they are connected with each other with the help of bolts, and in between the two flanges there is provided a gasket which is going to prevent the leakage. So you require the two flanges. These flanges, they are connected to the pipes. In between these two flanges there is a gasket, and these two flanges, they are tightened with the help of bolts. Now this is what a flange is. Now basically in chemical process industries, you need to connect the cylindrical shell, the shell to the head. Then nozzles are connected to the pipe fittings. Then connections for pumps and valves for the different pipe fittings. So these are the very common examples in our chemical industries. Because you have to connect one thing to the another, you require some connecting agent, and that is serving as your flange. So in that, the temporary joints and permanent joints are there. If it is a temporary joint, it can be easily removed. It is often easy for maintenance, and these flanges are the temporary joints. However, the permanent joints are also there. They can be welded, soldered, fused, braced, or certain adhesive joints, they are there. But permanent joints are difficult to remove, and whenever there is a requirement of maintenance, that means it is necessary to open the equipment or necessary to open the pipes for the purpose of maintenance or for the purpose of modification. It is very difficult and costly process to tackle with these permanent joints. So it is easy, convenient to have the temporary joints by using the flanges. Flange is a part either casted, forged, or fabricated from the sheets. That means the simple sheets, they are used, and from these sheets you are going to get the flanges. Now look at this blind flange. Here you can see a simple sheet provided with a circular shape, and for the purpose of the bolting provided with the holes. So this is the most simplest flange. In addition to that, this lap joint flange, that is also the simple one. Circular plate provided with the main hole for the transfer of the fluid, and the bolting holes. Similarly, other flanges are also there: welded neck flange, slip-on flange, lap joint flange, blind flange, threaded flange, socket welding flange, long welding neck flange, ring joint flange, then orifice flange. Now these orifice flanges, they are provided with the certain holes, orifice plate that is provided in between that, and the holes on the lateral section is also provided for the pressure tappings. You must have studied this in your fluid mechanics, how the orifice that is attached in the pipeline. So such flanges, specially designed flanges with the certain pressure tapping, they are used for the purpose of these flanges for the measurement of pressure. Then the nozzles are there. This is the spectacle and the blind. One is the spectacle, like your spectacle, and another side is a blind that is provided. Now, for the purpose of drawing, you can have these different easy to sketch arrangements. They have been provided for welded neck flange, slip-on flange, integral flange, socket welding, then threaded flange, blind flange, lap flange. Again, there are the other figures which you can draw very conveniently, and you have to draw these flanges in your drawing practical. So the threaded flange, you can see the threads provided on the inner surface. Then slip-on flange, then you will have the socket welded, a certain difference in the diameters that is provided, that is what a socket. Then lap joint flange, blind flange, welded neck flange. So these figures you have to draw in your drawing. Now basically a flange can also be a plate or a ring to form a rim at the end of a pipe when fastened to the pipe. Then there are blind flanges also. It is a plate for covering or closing the end of a pipe. There are different purposes, and depending on the purpose, the names are also provided. Now, what is the basic purpose of using these flanges? Is to prevent the leakages and provide the flexible joints. Easily, you can open these joints and use for the maintenance purpose. In the industrial scale, this is the figure which you can see for a heat exchanger shell cover. A huge heat exchanger shell cover, a thick flange that is provided. These are again the vessels to which the flanges they are provided. Now, what is the material of construction for the flanges? Material used for flanges. Generally, it's a low carbon steel that is used, low alloy steel, stainless steel, mild steel, cast iron, aluminium, brass, bronze. Nowadays, plastic that is also used. Now, how these flanges they are fabricated? They can be either forged, machined. Machine means from a simple plate, you are going to give the desired circular shape, drill the holes for the bolting and for the pipe diameter. Then you can have a heat treatment, then sometimes casting and forming that is also used for the fabrication of the flanges. Then coming to the dimensions of the flanges. The flanges are fabricated with the certain specifications. You can have the standard flanges and the non-standard flanges. When it's a non-standard flanges, I am going to simply cut the desired plate, provide a circular shape or a rectangular shape or a square shape, and provide the bolting arrangement and provide the hole as same as that of the dimension of the pipe or that of the dimension of the vessel. So this is a non-standard flange. This is simply based on your thickness calculation, PD upon 2FJ or PD upon 4FJ. Generally, higher thicknesses are preferred, as we have already talked related to the flat heads. So similarly, flat heads are nothing but the flanges, big flanges serving the purpose of a closing the vessel. Now coming to the standard flanges. These are with a certain specifications and certain codes. ASME standard codes are there. Then Canadian, Australian, Japanese codes are there. And according to these codes, these flanges, they are used. Now when you come to the understanding of the flanges, the terminology associated with this is a scheduled. Scheduled in case of your pipes as well as in case of your flanges, that is very important. Schedule and class. Here you can see the class 150 and schedule 40. These are the standards. These are according to the ASME or ASTM A105. This is a welded neck standard flange. So here for a schedule 40 and class 150, that means it can be used up to 150 kgs per centimeter square and for a certain temperature. These are specifically defined. The temperature and pressure associated with this schedule and associated with this class, they are defined, they are standard. And if you are going to use the steam or certain flammable liquids or hazardous liquids, then you are definitely going to use these standard flanges with the better schedule and better class. So there is a less chances that they may get leakage or they may burst or certain welding problems they may arrive. So all this can be eliminated by proper selection of the schedule number and the proper selection of the class number, which is according to the dimensions of the vessel or dimensions of the pipe and according to the temperature and according to the pressure. So temperature and pressure are very important in the standard, scheduled and class flanges. So when you talk of the specifications, then it will have the standard dimensions. Now this is the pipe diameter, that is 213.5 welded neck flange with the internal diameter 213 diameter that is provided, and its thickness is 25.4 mm, that means 1 inch. 25.4 mm, that is nothing but a 1 inch, and a diameter of 20 centimeters, 21 centimeters. So this can be used for a pipe of a 20 centimeter diameter. But when you go into the details of the schedule and class, you will understand what will be the exact diameter. The exact diameter of the pipe that comes as the 154, that means 15 0.4 centimeter. Its outer diameter, that comes as that means the thickness that will be there. So these are the certain specifications related to the standardization. Then the types of the flanges, classification of the flanges. The flanges, they are classified based on the standardization, based on the material used for flanges, based on the geometry of flanges, based on the facing and the spatial flanges. So these are the certain standardizations that is coming into the picture. Classification. Standard flanges based on the material used, based on the geometry of the flanges, based on the facing. What is facing? That we will understand. The spatial flanges. Then based on the standard flanges, means according to the scheduled number and according to the class. That means it will be perfectly used up to that temperature and up to that pressure range. There welded neck flanges, slip-on flange, socket welded flange, lap joint flange, threaded flange, reducing flanges, blind flanges and screwed flanges. These are the different types of the flanges in case of a standard. We already talked related to the standard and non-standard flanges. These are the class of a standard flange. So what will be the welded neck flange? In general, we are going to talk related to the material, then temperature and pressure for which this type of the flange that will be suitable. Then what may be the dimensions for that and what are the different applications. Now this welded neck flange, these are the long tapered hub that is provided. The long tapered hub that is provided. Here also the long tapered hub that is provided to the basic flange, and this hub that is welded to the pipe. So long tapered hub that goes gradually over to the wall thickness from a pipe or a fitting. Then this long tapered hub that reduces the high stress concentration at the base of the hub. That means why the long tapered hub that is provided? To reduce the stress concentration. Now these welded necks are often used for high pressure, high temperature applications, for the corrosive fluids, flammable fluids, explosive fluids, where the leakages and the failures are not accepted. There I am going to provide these welded neck flanges. However, these flanges are costly also. So you have to optimize between the cost and the severity of the process. When you are using for a higher temperature, higher pressure, corrosive fluid, flammable fluid, then where no leakages are accepted, there I have to invest more amount and prefer for this welded neck flanges. So these are the strongest flanges. Very high thickness of a flange, a tapered hub that is provided. So it's a costly one. You can draw the figure with these simple details. This is welded neck flange attached to the pipe. This figure that can be very conveniently drawn. Then coming to the again standardization, certain edge height, what will be the width that is provided, what will be the raised portion. Now this is the raised face that is provided. These are the two different figures. There is a difference in the raised portion. Here it's a 1.6 mm, here it's a 6.35 mm. That is going to vary this raised portion, the details of which we will talk further. Now slip-on flange. Now slip-on flange, these are actually the slide over the pipes. That means it can be rolled over the pipe. Pipe में से slide होता है. So they are typically machined with an inside diameter slightly larger than the outside diameter of the pipe. This allows the flanges to slide over the pipe, but to still have a somewhat snug fit. That is why it is called a slip-on flange. That is, it is slip on the pipe, slip over the pipe. These are further categorized as the ring or hub. Rings and hubs are both considered slip-on flanges because they fit over the pipe. Slip-on flanges, they are slightly less costly than the welded neck flanges. These flanges require less accurate pipe cuttings. When you are slipping over it, then it is very easy to align the bolts. It is easy to align the bolts with the fixed flanges. So aligning is easy in case of this slip-on flange. However, in case of a welded flange, its alignment is done before the welding and then welding is carried out. Then slip-on flanges shall be welded at the front and back of the hub, but not on the sealing face. So this is the figure which you can see related to the slip-on flange. This slip-on flange, inside that there is a pipe that is provided. And it is welded at this side so that it will be completely fitted. These are used for moderate services of temperature and pressure. This is comparatively less costly. The strength is around 70% of the welded neck flanges and fatigue life is nearly 1/3 as compared to the welded neck flanges. So this is the welded neck flange. Then third is the socket weld flange. Now socket that is provided here means you can see in this figure where the pipe that will be properly fitted, it minimizes the leakages. For fitting of a pipe, certain specific thickness, certain specific diameter that is provided. This is the details of a socket welded flange. You can draw these figures. Again, these are used at a moderate temperature and pressures. These are initially developed for small size, high pressure pipings, but their fatigue strength is 50% with double welded slip flanges. Then lap joint flange. Now these are the lap joint flanges that is provided. You can see the figure. There is a hub that is provided, lap joint, and the pipe fitting. This is the hub and the stub bent this stub end that is also called the hub. The lap joint flange. In this lap joint, this part is moving upward inside so that it looks like this, and its sectional cut is shown here. Its sectional cut is shown here. This is what a lap joint flange means. It is very easy to weld the pipe with the hub. However, you can rotate this lap joint. You can rotate this lap joint so that the alignment is easy. Now they can be used for moderate conditions of temperature, pressure, where less vibrations and shocks are there, and have a limited temperature, pressure. The bolting holes that can be easily aligned. This is what the advantage of this lap joint flange is there. Bolting is easy and alignment is easy. Where frequent openings or cleaning of the inspection is required, there these lap joints are preferred. Then stub end. The threaded flanges. The threaded flanges, the threads are provided in the inner surface of the flange, and the threads are provided on the outer surface of the pipe so that it can be easily threaded or tightened. It is easy for tightening purpose. This cannot be used at a higher temperature fluctuations because of the thermal expansion. There can be the chances of leakage from the threads. Again, temperature limitation, pressure limitations are there for these threaded flanges. You can see the gradual decrease in the diameter for the flange, so that the pipe that can be completely fitted and perfectly fitted. So these are the screwed flange or threaded flanges, where the thermal cycles is not accepted. Thermal cycles that is going to create the temperature difference and possibility of leakage arises due to these thermal cycles. Here you can see the photograph of this, the threaded flange. Then the reducing flanges. Then the pipe dimensions, they are changed. On one side, the pipe diameter is higher, another side, the pipe diameter is less. So the pipe diameter that is reduced. So these are the reducing flanges. The dimensions of the pipe, they are changed. In case of a reducing flanges, it can be the welded neck flange, slip flange, or threaded flange. Then there are again the important type, that is the blind flanges. Blind flanges where they are provided at the end, where no flow is provided. That means there is no additional hole which is provided at the end. That is why it's called a blind flange, where you are restricting the flow. Flow will not move further. That is the end. That is what a blind flange is. This is at the end. There is no other pipe that is attached to the another end of this blind flange. These are manufactured without a bore and used to blank off the end of pipes, valves and pressure vessel openings. These are most highly stressed flanges type because there is a stress concentration that will be observed, and because there is no curvature also. That is what we have talked in the heads, flat heads. It is similar to flat head, blind flange. Then there is a blind and a spectacle arrangements that is also provided. This is a blind flange on one end and this is a spectacle that is provided. Yes, this is the actual figure of the blind and the spectacle. This is what a blind and this is what a spectacle. Means the same flange that is shifted for opening the flow and closing the flow. If I am using a blind, the flow will be restricted. If I am using a spectacle, the flow will be there. So, on the same pipeline, I am putting this blind, the flow will not move. If I am putting the blind, the flow will be there in that pipeline. The next, there is a raised face flanges. These are some figures related to the flanges. You can see these various types of the figures, welded neck flanges. The next classification is based on the shapes, that is the geometry, design. These are again the special purposes. At least few of you must have seen the carburetors, open carburetor. There you can see the various or different shapes of the gasket and flanges. So the variety of the shapes that can be available depending on the structure that is available for the fitting. So this is the based on the shape. Then based on the facing, the raised face, flat face, raised face, then tongue and groove flanges. Now you can see here the plain face flange, then male and female flanges, tongue and groove flanges, conical face flange and trapezoidal groove face flange. This is the plain face flange. Here the face that is plain. All these are the raised face flanges. Raised face flanges. So here the area in contact with the gasket that is slightly raised. This is a plain area that is provided. In the male and female, one groove and one raised portion that is provided. In case of a tongue and groove, one groove that is there and again the one protruding section that is provided. This is what a conical face flange that is provided. A trapezoidal groove face flange that is provided. These are all the raised face flanges. Now what is raised face? You can see here what is the raised face is. The face is slightly raised. the actual depth is there and his section is raised, means your gasket will be applied in this section only. Gasket will be applied in his raised section only. So this is what this raised face that is shown in this figure. This is again the another figure. You can understand the raised face in both the figures. Generally, it's a pressure class of 150, 300. That means it is up to 15 kgs per centimeter square, 30 kgs per centimeter square. Pressure classes of 400, 600, 900, 1500. Again, all these are depending on the pressure applications. This is what the male and this is what is a tongue and groove face flange. The groove that is provided here. Then there are